Alright guys, today is July 18th, 2021, and so it's Sunday, the weekend, and we are going to take a look at what I think will happen to CLOV in the upcoming week and most likely the following week. So CLOV is a stock which was highly talked about on Reddit as well as in other places last month, mainly because of this rise right here where it hit a high of 28.85. But we saw a huge drop following that, and then we have seen the stock kind of bleed off, and it is currently at 820, which is not the low. The low is a 652, but it is a fairly low for this period of time. But it does look like that it is trying to consolidate, but it is still kind of bleeding off. So what to expect in the next week? I think that we will be hitting bottom soon, whether it's a 795 or even lower. I think we should be looking at somewhere between $7.50 and $8. I don't think we'll be hitting the sixes again, mainly because we did have this huge up spike, and then because of the Reddit trends, a lot of people have bought into CLOV and are holding CLOV. So I think we will be seeing somewhere around $7.50 to $8 as the bottoming price. Now, I don't really foresee this having a huge up spike like this anytime soon within the next week or two, mainly because the options chain is kind of dead and the implied volatility is fairly high. So if we look at the options chain here, we can look at the calls, and this is for next week. So a decent amount, but fairly low. Nothing in the 10,000s, and then we would need to go to the monthlies to see that. So we have 15, 15, 20, 20. So we do have people who think that it will go higher, but I think a lot of these purchases were probably made in June after that big spike, and there was a lot of talk, and we have not really seen the gains here. So all of this has been delta hedged already, so we would need to see another big push for options. If we go into September, it's fairly quiet. A lot of people do like to buy 2 months out. So for the following kind of big push, 2 months out, which would be September, it is quiet. There really haven't been that many purchases for options contracts. So if we do see a big rise in September, we should see a spike in price. But I think right now, because of the implied volatility, which is above 120%, so you go up to like 200 plus, the price of options is just too expensive for people to really get in to push the price. I think the next week or two, if we do see it stabilize around the $7.50 to $8 mark, and we see that trend for a week or two, that would actually be a positive for CLOV. Mainly because once the price stabilizes, that implied volatility will drop, and if we get a lower implied volatility, it will encourage people to go back into the options chain. Right now, like I said, it's a little bit too high. The amount that you would need to gain is too high for a lot of people. For example, for a 750 call, you would have to, the break-even price is $8.97. So to pay $147 to get into that call is a little bit risky, especially since it does look like the price is still dropping. So, and for Monday, I'm going to bring up bar charts here because it does have the numbers from last Friday, which was July 16th. So Monday, I actually do expect the price to fall even further at the start of the day. What's going to happen is everything that was out of the money, so $9 and up, which is quite a lot of contracts. We have 18,000, 34,000, 25, 14, 13, and so forth. And then we can look at the delta. So we have 23 here, we have 8, 4, 4, and so forth. All of these shares that the market makers were holding will now be sold onto the market first thing Monday morning. So going back to the chart, we can say that Monday morning it will open lower than 820, and that would for me, I think that would be a good time to buy in if you want to purchase more shares. And like I said, if it does bottom out at the $7.50 to $8 range, then that drop might be some of the lowest prices that you'll be seeing on Clove for the near future. And I do have very high hopes for Clove as a company, and I think that they will do well moving forward. I don't really see this as a company that is in any financial issues, or that has any financial issues, or that is a problematic company. We can go into their financials. They are increasing their income every year, so that is a positive. The biggest thing though for Clove will be that they are spending more money as well. And currently, quarter after quarter, their per patient cost is actually increasing. So how much they spend to gain and keep a patient on their rolls is actually increasing and not decreasing. And until we start seeing that decrease, retail and investors are going to be a little bit hesitant, because yes, they're getting more patients, yes, their revenue is increasing, but their costs are also increasing at a higher rate, which is problematic for long-term growth. But I think the biggest issue of that is that they are expanding into new markets. So when they do that, they have to lay down infrastructure, they have to get the staffing. So the initial cost to set up those areas is a lot higher than it would be moving forward. And as long as Clove is expanding, I think that is perfectly fine. And it is a growth company, so you shouldn't be expecting to see huge profits from this company anytime soon. Quick look at the analysts. The low is at $9, so we are under even the low. This is only 3 analysts though, so I would take this with a grain of salt. And the high is $10. Personally, I think it can go higher, especially because there is squeeze potential. And one of the things with Clove is that it does have a fairly high short interest, and I believe it is still being shorted about 37% last time I checked. So it is still being shorted, but the good thing is that the percent turnover is low, 426. And if people did not sell out when this was around the $15 to $12 mark, then chances are they are going to be holding onto this. The free float is still fairly low, so I do think that Clove after the next week or two will have a pretty nice bounce upwards. And if we can get the implied volatility down, which means stay away from the options market for the next week or two on Clove. The implied volatility, I think if it goes down to about 70-80%, which again is still fairly high, but for a growth kind of meme stock, it is low. If we get it down 70 or 80%, I do foresee another big influx of options, which will give it a nice spike upwards. Again, there's really no guarantee on that. This is not financial advice, just my own thoughts. But if you do like Clove and you want to play this, I would say that right now is a really great price to buy in for the next week or two. I think I will probably be buying more shares and seeing how the implied volatility goes before I start playing options on this again. Alright guys, that is my analysis of Clove, and best of fortune to you guys, and I will get back to you soon.